really confusing for me, but I had to just accept that, basically. Hey everyone, it feels like I'm starting too many series lately, but I do want to start this one, and I'm gonna call it LondonTroubles or something like that. Or you'll see it in the description or in the title now, so that's what I decided on. And it's basically about the things I encountered when I moved to London that went terribly wrong. And the first story I want to tell you is how I did not get a bank account for the longest time and how I struggled with it. So this is what happened. So I came to London in 2011 doing an internship in Fulham, and when I did that internship I wanted to open a bank account because I would sometimes receive payment through this internship, so I needed somewhere to have it go. And my German bank account obviously wouldn't work because there is like transaction fees, and I just wanted an English bank account anyway because I wanted to pay on a card here because my German card wouldn't work, and it was just really inconvenient to always get out cash. So I went to a local bank here, Barclays, and tried to open a current account, and I was rejected. I was 20 at the time, and I did go with my dad to this bank trying to get a bank account, and they said I could not get a bank account because I wasn't in full-time employment. Now this was really weird to me because in Germany I've had a bank account since I was about 12 as a student, and it's not a full current account, but they do give you a card that you can pay with in stores. And the only thing they offered me at Barclays was a savings account, and the savings account, you cannot use the card to pay in store. You can only put money in the account and then withdraw from an ATM. So I wasn't really happy with that, but I went to a few other banks and they told me exactly the same thing. You do need full-time employment to get a current account. The other thing, if you want to open a current account, is you do have to have a proof of address, so you have to live in the UK and you have to be able to prove it. They won't give you an account if you don't live here. So those are the things you need. You're going to have to live here and you're going to have to be in employment, and it's actually really difficult to get those things together because once you apply for a job, they then ask you if you have a bank account, because if you don't have a bank account you can't get a job. Same with a flat. Sometimes if you want to live in a flat, they will ask you for bank statements, and if you don't have them you can't get the flat. So it's just a vicious circle. So make sure you at least get a savings account, because with a savings account you can still get a job and a flat. So that's how I solved it. I got a savings account and got my wages paid into the savings account, and I still had bank statements from my savings account because I paid in money, cash all the time. So really complicated, but this is how you can solve the dilemma basically. I lived 6 months without a current account, and then my internship came to an end, but I decided to stay in London, and I then got a job in a bar and went to the bank again being like, I have a job now, can I now get a current account? And they were like, no, you don't make enough money to get a current account. So again I was rejected, really upset at that point. But I lived another year and a half without having a current account because I was rejected every single time. Even when I went into full-time employment after that, I was still rejected up until I think 6 months later because I had to be out of probation before I could get a current account. So I think it was 2013 when I finally got a current account. And they got me the most limited, most crappy current account they had, and I still have that one. And yeah, I do know that there is ways around it. I think Halifax used to have a bank account that you can open even when you're not employed. It's called like a quick something account, but again, it's kind of limited. And I wanted my bank account to be at Barclays for several reasons. Also, there was a branch really close to my house. But yeah, they just wouldn't give me one up until after I was in full-time employment for 6 months, making enough money for them to say, you can now have a current account. So if you're coming to London and you want to open a current account, all I can tell you is don't get your hopes up too high. Even though I do know about some people that have done it fine, sometimes I feel like it kind of depends on who you talk to and if they have a good day or not or whatever, but generally I feel like they don't really like giving foreigners a current account until they actually pay money into their account. So maybe just start with a savings account and do your research on other accounts. Maybe just live with a savings account. I mean, it did teach me some things. It's kind of helpful if you always have to get out cash, because it really makes you think about spending your money, but at the same time it's kind of really, really inconvenient and almost dangerous. Like, the amount of times I was stranded in London with no money and there was just no ATM anywhere and I couldn't get home was kind of scary. So I do think they should change that, and I hope they did change it by now. And the new thing that is now happening to me is I've been trying to get a credit card for the past year or so, but they don't want to give me one, even though I've been in employment for like 3 years now and I pay into my current account every single month, and yeah, they're just saying, oh, we can't give you one. And I know a lot of English people that make less than me and have had a current account for not as many years as me, and they can get one. So I do think there is a little bit of a, I don't really want to say it, but yeah, I do think there is a sort of stigma or something. So I don't think it's fair, and just be prepared to run into some trouble with that. Yeah, this is my experience. Not a good one, but I did want to share it with you because that's something that I ran into. I hope this helped you, and I'll be posting more of these videos because there was a lot of things that I ran into that didn't go smoothly at all. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much. Please subscribe if you like this, and bye.